Hey there! Congratulations to all that went through the orientation and passed the exam successfully. I know it's a pain in the butt, and it seems like busy work, but from my experience of doing this a number of years, those students that clearly understand the expectations and know what's ahead for the next 5 weeks are the students that can succeed. All right, so thank you guys for doing it. And again, if you haven't done it, I'm giving you guys basically 10 more hours to complete it, right? And if you don't do it, I really do need to drop you, because if you haven't done it or successfully have done it, it really is a harbinger for things to come that you probably won't be successful in this course. So do what you need to do to get that done. It's already been open now for 4 days. 4 days is the equivalent of, well, almost an entire month in a mini-mester like this. So what I'd like to do here is just to make sure just to give you some advice, some further advice of how to succeed. So the one thing that I suggest to students, all internet students, whether it's a mini-mester or a regular semester, is make yourself a schedule. Right? The problem that students run into on internet courses is they develop a mindset of, oh, I'll get to my internet class when I have time to do it. You don't have time to do it. You'll never have time to do it. The only way you'll have time to do it is if you make time to do it, right? And to recognize that the concept of time is, this is a little philosophical, but you are time, right? Really, you are time. And so when you begin to say, oh, I don't have time right now, well, that's what you are. And so if you're doing things that, if you have signed up this class and it is important to you, you have to make time. So what I suggest is to identify pockets of time throughout the week that you can do, right? So if it's early in the morning or late at night or the middle of the day, whatever it is, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to school, right? Which is in your bedroom or your living room or in the kitchen, whatever the case is, on your computer or in the backyard, whatever it is. But on the computer, you are on there for Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m., something like that, to that extent. Right? And do expect to spend quite a bit of time. Actually, it's probably, if you're only going to spend 3 hours a day at a time doing it, I would suggest making a schedule where you are coming to the computer at least 4 times a week, right? Maybe even 5. This is a mini-mester. If you were taking a mini-mester face-to-face, you would be coming to school 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. And that's just class time. That doesn't even include the hours that you need to spend in preparing, reviewing, writing, thinking, studying, drilling, talking about it, right? All of those hours, right? This class is a commitment. And so if you sit down and go, well, I just don't have that kind of time, then maybe you have taken a class that's truly not fitting for you. Right? I know it's a convenient thing, and it's kind of, wow, I could take a history class, a college level class in 5 weeks. It is a college level class, so keep that in mind, right? Don't just think, oh, I'll just take a history class in 5 weeks and this will be an easy A. I'm here to tell you it is not an easy A. It's a class that I've designed that is designed in the fashion that respects the student, right? I respect you for enrolling in this class, and I respect your intelligence and your ambitions, and you're going to get a college level course like you would at any other major university in this class. So please make sure that you are in the right place for you. So make a schedule. If you don't have time for a schedule, think about what you are actually doing in this course and make a decision that's right for you on that, right? Other pieces of advice that I want to give, that I've given before, is when you watch the lectures, the learning objectives, you need to visit them early on, right? This is why a schedule is important, right? And so you need to visit them repeatedly. And don't worry if you don't get it the first time. Because you won't. You're not going to get this stuff the first time unless you're really intrinsically interested in history, right? Most people who take a U.S. History 2 course at college aren't intrinsically interested in history. Some are, but most aren't. If you're intrinsically interested, you actually might find yourself getting this a lot easier than other people because, well, you're interested in it. So most people aren't intrinsically interested. Maybe I can change that. Maybe I can't. That in the end is always up to, well, you as the student. But you need to, no matter what type of student you are, no matter if you are interested in it or not interested in it, you do need to make room for your mind to organize this information, right? Your brain is an organ and it works in a very specific way. So watch the videos. Be cognitive of what the learning objective is asking you, and to the best of your ability on that first round of watching the videos, the learning objectives, just take notes. Don't worry if they are right, if they are wrong, if it's accurate, if you're taking enough, if it's too little, all of that kind of stuff. Just write things down. Write down names, dates, events. Don't worry about getting every single word I say down. Don't try to copy me verbatim. That'll just spin your wheels and waste a lot of time. Go through all of the learning objectives for that lecture. There's usually 2 lectures per week, sometimes up to 3. When you're done with the first lecture, so for this week, when you're done with Reconstruction, then move on immediately to the West Placer process. Do the same thing. Go through all of the learning objectives, take notes to the best of your ability, and then walk away. Right? Walk away from it. Don't even think about it anymore. Right? Just let your mind, let it run through you like Chinese food, right? So you just watch the video and there it is, right? And you've taken your notes, put it away, organize it, put it somewhere where you can find it easily. You don't want to go through, oh, where did I put those notes? Because that creates room for, oh, I don't know where my notes are, forget it, I can't do it today, right? You want to organize it, right? So you know exactly where it's at. Then go back at it a second time. Right? So if hypothetically, let's say this is a Monday, come back to it on Tuesday, sit down, and this time you're going to take a little bit more detailed notes. Again, don't be too worried the second time you're at it if you get it or not. You might not. But I guarantee you, you'll get it a little bit more than you did the first time. Right? So if you didn't get it at all the first time, you might get it a little bit on the second view. Right? Taking notes. Don't just sit there and watch it, right? Nothing will happen if you just sit there and watch. You have to be active with it, right? So utilize the function of it. You can push pause if you need to take more notes. And this time I do recommend taking more detailed notes. Don't try to write down everything I say because that's just going to waste your time. But really begin to understand, well, what's the relationship between the lecture and the actual learning objective? What am I being asked here? So for the first learning objective for Reconstruction, what are the 2 constitutional questions, right? So do I mention those? And do I elaborate on those 2 questions, the 2 constitutional questions? Right? So you want to look for that, right? What is he really asking in these learning objectives? And is that information in the lecture? If you don't find that information in the lecture, email me. Right? I've watched it a couple of times, I've taken notes, and I don't see exactly what it is you're asking within that lecture. That kind of a thing. All right. Important also is to practice writing the essay. Write out the essay. Try to write a 6 to 10 paragraph essay based on your notes, right? 5 to 6 sentences a piece per paragraph. And this is generally speaking. You might find that there are some lectures that are just a 5-paragraph essay. But generally speaking, you'll see that there are at least 6. Some will move up to about 10. 10 would be a long one. But I throw that out there, 6 to 10, as just kind of a general rule of thumb. But do practice it, right? It's like anything. Right? If you want to succeed at something, you've got to practice, right? So you need to make room for that, to practice that. So that's why it pays to get to these lectures early on, right? And don't rush through it. A couple of students have asked, hey, can I kick butt and get through this whole thing within 2 weeks? Sure, absolutely, do it. But don't do it for at the expense of doing quality work, right? You don't want to, you know, it's the old adage, and it's very true, haste makes waste, because you don't want to have to do it and then have to kind of do it all over again because you don't actually understand anything that you're looking at or writing down because you're going so fast, right? Let's see. Definitely organize your notes in the essay in a folder, and I would get tabs. You know, you can just divide it up by units and lectures. That's basically the organization of this class. It's all divided up by units and all divided up by lectures. So I would get tabs and label them. Unit 1, Reconstruction, the West in Progress. Unit 2, Social Darwinism, the Labor Movement, and I'm forgetting what the other one is. Oh, Dawn of the Empire, right? So label that, right? And then, last but not least, contact me if you have questions. That's what I get paid for. I actually get a paycheck. It's not, I don't make a fortune doing this, but I make enough for a modest middle-class existence. So make me work for a living, right? Do email me, and I will get back to you sooner than you probably think. Always remember that is my one of my main priorities is to get back to students promptly. So if I go ever 24 hours without getting back to you, something went wrong, right? Either I didn't get your email, it got lost in the shuffle. Sometimes I receive up to 30 emails a day, and I usually am able to get back to everybody, but sometimes things happen, or I meant to get back to you and I just didn't. So don't hesitate if I go a whole day without getting back to you, to email me and saying, hey, I had this question, this concern, here it is again, right? And I will get back to you. That's it. So good luck, go forth and be great, and you guys will do fine. Salud.